Hi guys, my name is Ashley Elizabeth and I'm doing my first official video with the Living Muse, or as the Living Muse. And it's been weighing on my heart a lot lately to share this with you guys because a lot of the people that I've been working with lately, they are constantly being told to let it go. And the first thing I say to them is letting go is a myth. People say let it go just like I would pick up something and just, toss it aside. And that's not really how it works. Um, and that's not how I believe it works. So if this video resonates with you, then wonderful. If it doesn't, then take it or leave it. It's really up to you. So the choice is yours. But I'm going to tell you some things, or at least give you an analogy that might help you let it go. And this is something that I had posted about having a trigger that I had had for 20 years, and it was a song, and it had played during an abusive situation, and it was my favorite song at the time. So, of course, it stuck a lot more than you would think it would. So, basically, the song, every time it came on, everybody around me knew, do not turn the song on, don't sing it, don't hum it, I don't want to hear the song. Well, the song came on the other day, and I was by myself, and it was a cover by one of my favorite bands. And I realized that it didn't bother me anymore, which was really bizarre because for 20 years, it had really had this really profound effect on me. The reason why it didn't bother me anymore is because I let it go. Now, letting it go is kind of, like I said, it's a myth. What I did and what you can do too is what we're doing in society is we are not only spiritually bypassing, and there are plenty of videos out there on that, but what we're doing is we're not validating our emotions. And people say, I validate my emotions, I take time and I release and I this, that, and the other. And there's a very big part of that I think is missing. And so here's what you do. Very quick. You want to know how to let it go. I think that's really important. So how do you let it go? You let it go because what's essentially going to happen is you need to imagine that you are a desk worker. And in this desk worker office environment, there are nothing but patrons waiting for your attention. And these patrons, I like to kind of imagine them as ghosts. And they're really just memories. Or experience, or this, that, or the other. And each and every one of them wants your attention. They need your attention. They need to see that you care. I know you've been in a restaurant and the server's like, oh, just give me 1 minute, I'll be right there. Or they're like, excuse me, and you've had really bad customer service and you're just sitting here going, your personal emotions to that are going to be like, what the heck? I came here for service and you're paying me no attention. Like, excuse me? Or even like, hey, yeah, no, I'll get to you. And then they never get to you. I mean, you're going to be annoyed. So what you're having is in this room where you are the customer service person and all these memories are ghosts, you need to be the customer service representative for them. So what that means is not just taking the happy emotions, but taking the negative ones too. So you can kind of pretend it's like the DMV or some sort of other office, and you take your memories, bad ones, good ones, whatever they are, and you take them back into the office, and you don't just sit there and say, like some unconcerned boss saying, I realize that you have issues with such and such, and I apologize for that. We'll do our best to fix that. What you need to do is you need to take that memory or that experience, I visualize it as a ghost, and you need to take them in that office. You need to put your arm around them, listen to what they have to say. Your emotions have something to say. Your experiences have something to say to you. And for me, with my experience, it was that you were so out of control. And not that I was out of control, but I felt so out of control. So I took that memory, and it's a whole thing for me, but it's been attacking it one by one, is taking that memory, putting my arm around that memory, and treating it like I would a friend. And not just any friend, but a close friend, somebody I care a great deal about. And what happens when you're with a really close friend and they start crying and they start telling you, this happened and it was really bad, and I am legit getting a little choked up here, and it really, really hurt. You don't dismiss them. You sit there and you don't say, oh, I'm so sorry that happened. You cry with them, with people that you're really close to, or even, I don't know, because I'm a fairly solo person. You comfort them, and not in an ingenuine way. And that's really important, is that you take that time to take that emotion in, and to sit it down and say, hey, bad experience over there in the corner. I know I've had you shackled up, but it's time. I'm going to sit down with you. And then you sit down with that emotion. And people say, well, I was angry or I was upset and I did some really terrible things. I have too. Everybody has. Anybody who tells you otherwise is kind of lying to you. And what you do is you cry with that emotion. And you really give them credence, and you say, you know what? I am so sorry. I am so sorry that happened to you. You can't, and here's the thing, just like at a restaurant, they can't put you off forever. You get belligerent customers that way. Any service industry, you're going to get belligerent customers. So when you are dealing with a bad emotion, instead of just letting it go as if it magically can disappear, which it can't, because there are some people who can, but the majority of people that I've worked with, they just are like, yeah, no, yeah, no, I know, I need to let it go. And I'm like, well, how have you been doing that? And they're like, well, I don't know. I just release. And I'm like, well, it keeps coming back, doesn't it? And it does. And that's the thing, is because your emotions need validation. And the important part of this is that when you validate your emotions, listen carefully, when you validate your own emotions, one, you no longer need anybody else to validate them for you. There may be a corner somewhere that goes, that memory, that feeling that says, I don't feel loved. And in that not feeling loved, you sit them down, you say, I love you, which is weird to say to yourself because maybe you don't feel that way. But you need to sit down with that emotion anyways and care for that emotion. I'm trying to think of an example where I was really angry or really upset. And one of them was because I really, really resented my mother at one point. This is an ongoing issue. But I sat down with I remember when I was 9 years old, I was very suicidal. And I sat down with my mother, and she said to me, well, why would you ever want to commit suicide? And because she had heard from my school chaplain that I had wanted to commit suicide, who'd heard it from another student who I hadn't exactly told. But that's besides the point. The point is that I felt really bitter towards my mother. I was really angry with her. And a lot of people told me that I should be grateful for what all my mother did for me, and that I was wrong in feeling the way that I did. And that's not true. I was ill-equipped to handle the situation. That's all there is to it. I was ill-equipped to handle the situation. Was it wrong for me to feel resentful? No. It's not wrong. It's important. It's important to say, I get it. If a friend to you came to you and told you the same situation that you're going through right now, are you going to say, well, you're just weak, you're just stupid, you're just not whatever? Some situations I can see that happening, but for the most part, you're going to sit there and tell them, I am so sorry this happened to you. I love you. Like, I can't imagine why anyone would treat you that way. When you start doing that to your own emotions, you'll see that they stop harassing you. The feelings of not being enough, the feelings of not being loved, the blame that you get, the triggers, those start to disappear. Now, I'm not saying that lobby's going to empty completely, because we all know there are times where no matter what we do, they tend to resurface. But every single time they resurface, what you need to do, take them into that office, put your arm around them, cry with them, be angry with them, whatever it is they're feeling, and be on their side, because all that's doing really is teaching you to be on your own side, and that is so, so important. I'm going to go ahead and post this video anyways, even though I know the lighting is a little weird, but like I said, let's see if we can get the better picture. It's really, really pretty outside, and therefore it's really, really bright. But I had errands to run, but I really wanted to get this video up and out there because I want you guys to get to know me, and I do want you guys to get to feel like you can come to me. I have a group page right now. Yes, I know they all say, everybody's like, oh, I'm working on a website. I am working on a website. It's just not live yet because I would like to have some good content and good material for you guys to really reach out to, and that's going to take some time. So in the meantime, I do have a group page, which is The Living Muse. You should see a photo of me looking all serious. And I can be that way, but in general, I'm fairly lighthearted, but I really want to share this with you guys because the letting go thing, therapists say it, your friends say it, Disney says it. I mean, come on, like, just let it go as if you can just brush it off. And anyone who's been in that situation knows that it can come back. And I have actually, I guess, I don't know, developed a method or figured out a way. And this may not work for all of you. It really may not, and that's fine. But if this does seem like something that resonates with you, please give it a shot. And when you're like, well, it's still coming back, and I'm like, well, were you really, like, sad for your friend, like, for your emotion? Were you really justifying how it felt? Like, were you angry that this happened? Were you not blaming yourself for being angry that this happened? So, in any case, if you have any questions, you're welcome to leave a comment or go and join my group page. It is a closed group right now, so we'll have to approve you. But in any case, I really hope you guys have a wonderful day and that maybe you're enjoying some good weather like I am. Once again, my name is Ashley Elizabeth, and I am with The Living Muse. Y'all have a great day. Bye.